Hogger, WoW's most dangerous and infamous villain. Everybody knows of him, but do they know about him? Hogger is a gnoll, which is usually just a low-level quest mob in WoW. But of all the low-level quest mobs, gnolls were actually a huge threat to the humans of Stormwind at one point. You see, gnolls are stupid and very aggressive. They constantly fight each other over really dumb and petty things, like who has bigger teeth, or whose shadow is larger. So an organized force of these morons was something no one thought could happen. But one day, a gnoll was able to actually rein in the other gnolls. An intelligent gnoll who actually managed to get the other dumb gnolls to pay attention and follow his orders. And with the vast amounts of them, and their naturally aggressive nature, they became a huge threat to Stormwind under this intelligent gnoll. And this gnoll was known as Pack Lord Garfang, not Hogger. This all happened about 80 years before Vanilla WoW's timeline. Anyways, Garfang would send out assaults on Stormwind, and while the Knights of Stormwind battled his army, he would send forces to the surrounding area and pillage and burn the farms and villages outside of Stormwind. And the forces he threw at Stormwind were so large that they couldn't afford to send out soldiers to defend the surrounding area while it all took place. This tactic of attacking Stormwind and pillaging the undefended surrounding areas worked so well that they managed to take a third of all human settlements outside the city during the Gnoll Wars. It was so bad that the king of the city thought they were close to losing the war, so he sent out requests of help to Lordaeron and Gilneas, but they declined to help and told them to deal with it themselves. So King Baratheon Ryn, Varian Ryn's grandfather, personally led a small team of his best knights to Red Ridge Mountain during one of the Gnoll attacks. And luckily, they were able to find Garfang. Since the forces Garfang sent out to both attack Stormwind and pillage the surrounding areas was so large, his personal defense was small. So the king and his men fought Garfang for a whole day before King Baratheon himself dealt the killing blow to Garfang, and losing half of his knights in the process. With Garfang dead, the gnolls immediately started infighting between themselves to fill the new leadership position, and basically took care of themselves for the humans since they just started killing each other in mass numbers. And with the much smaller and disorganized force of gnolls, they were no longer a problem and dealt with rather easily. And that was the end of the Gnoll Wars. So, how does this all relate to Hogger? Well, because of the Gnoll Wars, humans take gnoll threats pretty seriously, and put a bounty on Hogger because he seemed to be a lot stronger than normal gnolls, and had already killed everyone sent after him. After players confront Hogger, they find out he's actually the leader of the Riverpaw gnolls, who come in to aid him during this fight, and he is instead arrested and taken to the Stormwind Stockades, to maybe put an end to gnoll aggression once and for all. But while in the stockades, Hogger's gnolls manage to sneak in and kill all the guards and cause a riot. Then, players are sent into the stockades to stop him and his gnolls, and the quest to kill Hogger in the stockades is even called the Gnoll King. Obviously, being a dungeon boss, he was defeated by a band of adventurers, but with a new Gnoll King almost in the making, Hogger could have been a real threat if he had managed to escape. But he didn't. He was killed. Now, as to why Hogger is so well known, well, it's because he was a very hard elite mob in the human starting zone. Seeing as back in the day, before Blood Elves were added to the game, humans were the most popular race people picked. And after going around killing easy mobs, most people didn't think an elite mob would be that much harder. Hogger was a higher level than the zone he was in as well, which was how Blizzard balanced hard, low-level mobs and dungeon bosses back in the day. They just made them a higher level than the content they were supposed to be in. So a group of newbies working together was all but required to take him down. And because of this, a lot of new players died, and a lot of new players were human, so Hogger became a well-known mob of terror. Despite the fact that the Defias mobs in the very next human leveling zone were more dangerous number-wise. Many more people died to the Defias pillagers and trappers than ever did to Hogger, In fact, they come in at number 5 on Blizzard's list of the most deadly mobs in vanilla WoW, with Hogger not even making that list, despite Hogger having his own kill stat. So really, I should have made a video on the Defies Pillagers instead. And that's it for the Villains Corner segment on Hogger. Honestly, he didn't really have any lore in Classic WoW, and Blizzard kinda added stuff in later on to make him more of a big deal because of his cult status. And as always with these Villain Corner videos, thanks to Rachel for all the wonderful drawings you see in the video.